Happy Monday, Table family. It's Yolanda. It's Monday. It is time for the 19th episode of Everybody at the Table. I'm super excited to be back. I had an amazing vacation, a wonderful birthday in my city of birth, Chicago, Illinois, with a great group of ladies who travel well together. I am grateful and thankful for all of the birthday wishes I received on last week. I really do appreciate it. Those are prayers for me, my family, and for my future. And so I thank you tremendously. Well, we're back for another conversation around creating access for all and what that looks like for me. It's my reason, it's my why of this podcast and why I'm doing this work. I could do a lot of things, but it's important for me that we continue to have conversations around why we should be creating access for all, especially in the face of the governmental changes in the United States of America. This beacon of hope, this beacon of light, I believe Ronald Reagan said, a city set upon a hill, of course, quoting scripture there, that the world used to look at as hope for all humanity in some forms to be able to advance, move forward, progress in every area of their life. Now, as a Black woman, as an African American reared in this country, I recognize that hope, that light wasn't given to my community. It's something we've had to take. But even with that, being uniquely American, bound by the constraints of the Constitution, it's outlined that opportunity is available for us. And in recent weeks and months, we have seen the erosion of that opportunity for so many. It begs me to ask the question, does the American dream still exist? Or are we looking at the American lockout? Now, I have very deep feelings about the American dream, and I've said that more than once on this podcast. And I am going to do a podcast about my feelings about the quote unquote American dream. And I did put it in quotes because there's a deep part of me that believes it's propaganda. But I digress for another conversation. Why I am here today and why this thought is prevalent in my mind is because of two recent, very different stories that hit the news that are deeply connected. And they help to explain why I'm doing this work and why this podcast exists. Both are about access. One story about expanding it, and the other about trying to take it away. Or not even trying, but taking it away actively. Let's start with Harvard University. Harvard is offering free online classes, free. One of the most expensive higher learning institutions in our country has decided to offer free classes on constitutional studies to every American. They've actually been doing this for some time with other courses, but specifically in defiance to the Trump administration, and really in light of the Trump administration and what it seems to be the lack of Americans really understanding our constitutional rights. Harvard University finds itself in a fight with the Trump administration, which is supposedly fueled by anti-Semitism on their campus and the Trump administration feeling like they're not doing enough to quell it, and the pro-Palestinian voices on their campus are being championed too loudly. The Trump administration has threatened to take away federal funds from Harvard, close to $3 billion, and recently decided to prevent the university from offering or expanding or extending visas for students outside of the United States of America to attend the institution. The university has decided to take the administration to court to fight for their federal funding, and as aforementioned, they're now offering free civics courses to anyone in the U.S., and you can earn a certificate for a small fee. As I was exploring the civics course, I looked on the platform and there's an entire free catalog of classes on topics like artificial intelligence, leadership, and data science. And you can take any of them for free. That's amazing to me. That energized me because to me, this is what creating access for all looks like. The website, by the way, it's pll.harvard.edu. So check it out. Creating access for all is not just the theme of this episode or this podcast. It's the ethos of my being. It's the through line of my life, personally and professionally. I am a product of Chicago Public School Systems and the South Shore Community Center, which was right next door to my home in Chicago, literally next door. I grew up next to a community center that serviced the community in so many ways. I took tap lessons. I took ballet. I went to my first camp and I went skiing because of this community center funded by government dollars that increased my exposure. I'm a Black girl from the South Side of Chicago. My mom was a nurse, first in her family to go to college. My dad was a parking attendant manager in downtown Chicago. I didn't grow up with much, but I had enough. And at every stage of my life, someone gave me just a little access, just a little opportunity. And now it's time for me to pass it on. That's my why. Now, there's a second story. The Trump administration, and let's be clear, it's not just Donald Trump. It's the entire infrastructure that supports this ideology. There are other men and women of great means that support and financially give to ensure that what is happening will happen. They are decimating public funding for programs that support marginalized people. Last week, they suspended Job Corps, a program that's been a lifeline for so many young people trying to find their way. There are social media posts, and you can only believe what you see on social media so much, but about kids that are going to be homeless because these are on-campus programs because the government has decided to put a pause on Job Corps. Job Corps for some was about finding structure. For others, it's about finding a home. It's access to trade and skills or even a high school diploma. And now that option is gone. Over 50,000 youth will be pushed out into an abyss with three choices: either low-wage work, the military, or prison. It doesn't stop there. There's a tax bill making its way through Congress that would repeal student loan forgiveness regulations, eliminate graduate school lending programs, shrink repayment programs down to 2 options, cap loans for parents in undergraduate schools. They're slashing Medicaid by $700 billion, leaving 7.6 million Americans at risk of losing their health care. Senator Joni Ernst in Iowa, who dared to say, well, people are going to die, as if this decision doesn't matter. They're going to impose harsh penalties on legal immigration, causing it to be more money to immigrate into this country, and then penalize states that offer health care to undocumented children. What type of dream is this? This is a nightmare. This is not a small government ideology. This is strategic cruelty, a systematic rollback of access at every level. It is intended to create a permanent working poor class. So what are we supposed to do in the face of this? I'll share a couple of things I think, because I'm never without light and love. I'm a half glass full chick, and I always see opportunity even in what can be dismal times. First, look around. Start small in your family, your friend circle, your church, your block. Who can you mentor? Who can you encourage? Who can you support? Buy from them, uplift, do it. Second, get involved. Stop sitting on the sidelines. Volunteer, donate, partner, join organizations that align with your values. We cannot afford to be passive anymore. Third, vote. Now, when I say that, I know we just had an election, but I'm not just talking about for president. In the state of Georgia right now, we have an election for public service commissioner. That person helps regulate utilities, your gas bill, your electricity. These races matter. Elections happen every year. Your local and state elections happen every year. It's only the federal government that votes every 2 years. And in 2026, Congress is back on the line. If you're tired of these policies, if you're tired of seeing people mistreated and the marginalized counted out, vote for people that will enable the government to do better. Hold them accountable, write them, call them, tell them you're paying attention, because we are. I know it can be overwhelming. I know the news can be heavy, but I promise you, we've got this. When you help someone else rise, your own life gets richer too. And so one of the things that I intend to do in creating access for all is going forward, I'm going to offer free ad space for small businesses, Black-owned women, minority and marginalized owned, and ally owned to my community. What it looks like, I'm still teasing it out. But in the very near future, if you own and operate a small business, you'll be able to submit a 1-minute segment to share who you are, how people can purchase and buy and support your organization. I only have one criteria. That's that you follow the podcast. Because if we don't help each other, if we don't share and give opportunity to everybody to be at the table, what's the point? I enjoy eating alone, but there's nothing like a feast with the people you love and want to be in community with. If I'm not free and no one around me is free, that's not freedom. We have to be free together. That's the whole reason for this podcast. It's my life's purpose in action, creating access for everybody. Let's keep building. Those are my thoughts today. That's where I am. That's the work I'm doing. And of course, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are we in an American lockout, an American nightmare? Has the dream gone away? What are you doing in your community, in your world, to help facilitate the dream for somebody else and yourself? As always, thanks for listening. Please like, share, hit the comments with your thoughts about this episode and how we can continue to create access for all. Until next time, take care and dine well.